Call to order Rankin City Council meeting Monday, March 10th. Roll call. Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Scott.
Here.
Councilmember Milner.
Present.
Councilmember Underwood. Present. Mayor Exley.
Here.
Councilmember Blackwell. Councilmember Taylor. Here. Councilmember Riley.
The invocation is going to be given by Pastor David Reiner with Maranatha Family Church, and please remain standing for the pledge.
Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. Thank you for these representatives that are here for the best of our county and town. And Lord, we ask that you give them wisdom and knowledge, that you give us peaceful proceedings. Thank you for your bountiful blessings that you blessed us with. And all these things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Thank you, Pastor. Motion in order to approve tonight's agenda. Second. Got a motion by Ms. Underwood. I got a second by Mr. Blackwell. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Then the motion's in order to approve the minutes of the February 24th meeting. Does anybody have anything on the 24th meeting?
No, sir. Second.
I got a motion by Ms. Underwood. I got a second by Ms. Taylor. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right, so, guys, public comments shall pertain to agenda items only. Should you wish to appear before council, forms can be found at Rankin City Hall. Right now, we're going to have Councilman Milner is going to present our hero of the month to Ray L. Seconder Jr.
Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen of the City of Rankin Council, Mr. Mayor, Mr. City Manager, it truly is an honor to present this hero. You run across people in your life just by sheer coincidence. In this situation, I was standing in my kitchen, and Mr. Seconder came over to the house, and we were just having general conversation. Come to find out that Mr. Ray L. Seconder Jr., born December 12, 1952, graduated from Effingham County, but we're not going to say the year.
Back when everything was dirt road.
He went on to become a commissioned second lieutenant in the U.S. Marine Corps, June 5th, 1974. After basic school in Quantico, Virginia, he attended basic flight training at NAS Pensacola. And this is where it gets interesting. Myself being in the Navy, working on F-14s, we clicked immediately. Then he went to get assigned to a Marine squadron in Yuma, Arizona, to undergo training on the F-4 Phantom, a plane that we don't fly anymore in our naval fleet. 1977, he was assigned to a Marine Aircraft Group 31 right here in Beaufort, South Carolina. And this is where it gets real interesting. 1979, how many of us have heard Top Gun? Okay. Mr. Seconder, known as Sec in the military. Sex, sorry. Not only went through the Naval Flight Training Program, Top Gun, but he then became an instructor at Top Gun. That is amazing. And it goes on that, how many of us have seen the movie Top Gun? You see where the planes are doing like this? Would you like to let them know where you were at in that position?
I was the guy underneath that did the filming.
He was the plane below while Tom Cruise was up top in the front seat. So when you go home and watch it, growing up, that's who. Unfortunately, I was there in 1989. Our paths didn't cross, but then in 1986, he was transferred to Okinawa, Japan. He was assigned as the air officer for the 9th Marine Regiment. So to become a flight pilot in any service, it's tough. It's very tough. Then he went on to go into transitions for the F-18, F-A-18, what the Navy currently flies today. There was a new flight squadron in Beaufort, South Carolina in '87, and he became part of a newly formed F-18 squadron transitioning from the F-4s. In 1989, he became the executive officer, and during the July 1990 deployment to Iwakuni, Japan, for a 6-month deployment that he was extended for 3 months due to Operation Desert Storm. For those of you that, when I say 6 months, if you could only picture the sacrifice of a military member leaving their family, picture your better half picking up and leaving to go defend your country. It's not just being in war, it's the commitment that's made. And this gentleman spent 26 years in the Marines serving our country. But he didn't stop there. September 1st, 2000, he retired with over 4,500 hours behind the wheel of a jet, or stick of a jet, I should say. That's a lot. That is a tremendous amount. But he didn't stop there. After he retired, he became a senior naval science instructor at Bishop Kenny High School in Jacksonville, Florida, where he served in that capacity for another 18 years. So for his whole life, he's done nothing but learn, fly, and teach. Mr. Seckinger, personal decorations include the Navy Commendation Medal, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, 4th Award, and various service medals and unit awards. Ladies and gentlemen, he has been married to his wife for 49 years.
She's a true hero.
He has 2 children, one of which died on the line of duty with the sheriff department down in Florida on December 14th, 2020. And the other one, Scott, he has 3 grandchildren, Sam, Charlie, and Mallory. I would like you to welcome our hero of the month, Mr. Ray Seckinger.
Yeah, thank you so much. I grew up here when I walked many dirt roads. Everything's paved now. We had one drugstore, didn't even have a grocery store. You had to go to Fort Wentworth to buy groceries until they built red and white. If anybody lived here long enough to remember the red and white. I've been fortunate when didn't know I wanted to fly airplanes, but when I was going to school in Effingham County, Barry Peavy, I don't know if you know Barry Peavy, he used to fly to Beaufort A4s, and he'd come over to the high school and do a little air show at the high school. And Mr. Roundtree let us go out and watch him. And he married the Trail Yarborough, who lived right here in Lincoln. And I started talking to him, and he talked me into, do you want to fly airplanes? And I said, well, what do I want to fly? He said, well, you don't want to fly with the Air Force. They have too many rules. You don't want to fly with the Navy because they land on short runways, it turns into the wind. You want to be a naval aviator, you want to be a Marine. And so that's how he talked me into doing that, not knowing that Marines fly on aircraft carriers too. But they still turn into the wind. But I've been very fortunate to have a supporting family, supporting wife. Two heroes are these guys back here in black jerseys. I used to do a lot of ride-arounds with my son, and I saw what police officers do on a daily basis. And I was never scared flying airplanes, but I was scared riding around with him, seeing what he was doing. So thank you to all you guys that do what you do, because I know it's not easy. You go out in the morning, you don't know if you're coming back at night. Same thing, you fly airplanes, you go out, you have no idea what your spouses go through. They go through a lot, worried about you. And I never told my wife anything, all the scary things I did happen to me. But when I was teaching Sunday school with my sons, the only way I can get them to concentrate on a Sunday school lesson, I said, give me 20 minutes and I'll tell you a sea story. And so they heard everything. And then they started telling her, she said, I never knew you was doing that type of stuff. But thank you so much. It's a great honor. I appreciate you guys doing this. There's a lot of heroes around, especially our young men and women who are serving right now, because it's a lot harder doing what they're doing now than what I did when I came in active duty in 1974. You had a lot more support from everybody than we don't see the stuff they see at the ages they see that stuff. So they're the true heroes. So support these guys, men and women.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Chief Merle, you want to come up? We'll do some presentations and promotions.
Mayor and council, we don't get to do this too often, but we've got some promotions we want to acknowledge before you guys tonight. These people they're the ones that make our department roll in a forward direction, positive direction. So I want to start with Miss Allison Lewis, our police clerk. She's been with us for about 3 years, and she's the one that keeps us all straight, myself included. And I know it's a tough task. She really is the backbone of the department. It keeps us on the straight and narrow. So I want to promote her from police clerk to administrative supervisor, and she'll be able to help us out a little more during the day. And I'm gonna offload some more tasks on her. Captain Thompson, if you'll present the order.
Fight the battle daily. Well, by executive order, chief, general order, you've been promoted to administrative supervisor. It's effective immediately.
Next up, Officer Gugino. We hired Officer Gugino straight out of the academy. He's been with us for 2 years and is receiving his first rank tonight, the rank of Advanced Patrol Officer, or APF. He's come a long ways and it's been tough, but we've dragged him along. He's done a great job. Captain Thompson, if you'll present the order.
Yes, sir. Again, congratulations. Thank you. Worked hard. You really did. It showed. By general order of the chief, you were promoted effective immediately to an advanced police officer. Good job.
Picture.
Yeah, come on back. You got time. Come on.
She ran.
All right, we'll tie her down the horns. Next up, Corporal Hester. Corporal Hester used to work with us and left us for a period of time, and we were lucky enough to get him back. He's got a total of about 15 years in law enforcement. He's been back with us for about a year. Done a great job, comes with a lot of experience, promoting him from the rank of officer to corporal. Captain Thompson, if you'll present the order.
Sir. Again, glad to have you back. Like I said with the others, general order by the chief, you're promoted to the rank of corporal. You'll adorn those chevrons, and that's effective immediately.
Good job. Maybe we had an initiation. Over that.
Next up is for the haiku. So the haiku has been with us for 3 years, 3.5. Came to us from Effingham Sheriff's Office. And you've got a total of a little over 11 years in law enforcement total. Again, a wealth of experience and knowledge, and we appreciate everything you do. Another backbone of the department for promoting him from the rank of corporal to sergeant. And this has been in effect already since January 1st. We're kind of making this official tonight. Captain Thompson, if you'll present the order.
Sorry. Well deserved. Again, by general order of the chief, you're promoted effective immediately to sergeant. Continue doing your job.
Takes all time. Appreciate you guys. If y'all have any questions while they're still here before they run, now's the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, Pete. All right, guys, before we move into the consent agenda, I'd like to welcome Kate Cobb with Oliver Maine. She's here with Bobo. I was just told that she was the smart one out of the group. And I was wondering why she wasn't sitting where they're sitting.
It's a good question.
But yeah. But we welcome you here. Okay. So guys, there's a motion in order to approve the consent agenda as written. Motion approved. I got a motion by Mr. Milner. I got a second by Mr. Scott. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right, guys, we'll move into new business. Item number 1. Vote on the first reading on the petition filed by Keith and Joy Woods with BKB Properties LLC for a zoning map amendment for a parcel located at Magnolia Drive to amend the zoning from R2 to B2. The parcel is 1.18 acres and is owned by BKB Properties LLC.
Yes, sir. This came before us at the last council meeting as a public hearing. It did go through P and Z and passed P and Z.
But should I get down since my property backs up to it?
Yes, ma'am, please.
We have a form.
You do. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Chair.
The petitioner's here, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Keith, you'd like to come on, say represent?
Good evening, John Paul Moore with Thomas and Hutton. I believe, well,
Mr. Scott, I think you were the only one that maybe, or maybe Mr. Blackwell, y'all weren't here last time. Y'all have any questions, or does anybody have any questions? Pretty, I think, simple request.
Got the background information.
Okay, thank you. Well, if y'all have any questions, we're here, applicant's here.
I have one question, and I did speak with planning and zoning earlier. I have no idea if this is even possible, but I'm going to, just for all parties involved, is there a possibility that an entrance exit could be adjacent to coming in off of 21 instead of Magnolia? Well, and I know that there's, two other properties involved. My understanding is the owners of the property also have this property. So that is my question.
And as a stick in the mud and lawyer, I'll interject briefly. Council could certainly ask any questions at once. If you're on, I would just make the comment that this is for rezoning and not for the specific application. It was just highlighting that y'all, as you were.
Try to squeeze anything I can get out of it. So
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
We're not here tonight to talk about, and we don't know the plan. Maybe, I'm not saying no, but we can't say absolutely everything has to go that way either. Because they could sell that property tomorrow, that it's 3 parcels today. So they could sell the frontage on 21 tomorrow, or, who knows what tomorrow brings, right, for any of us. But, so I don't think today getting the rezone, asking your reason for the rezoning of the residential piece, we could come in with a commercial plan today on that, on the other commercial. So
I just want it to be known that that is a question that I have out there.
understood. Well, we would, we're here today asking for your blessing on this rezoning. That way we can make it a cohesive plan and come back to y'all with a good plan. That's what we want to do. And then we'll be asking, we'll have to come back before you for that.
All right, let me clarify something. A 21 in-out access is not going to be possible at all if you don't combine the lots. Is that not true?
Well, it has an access today off of Highway 21. What do you mean?
The front, the lot you have right now has access to Magnolia.
Only Magnolia.
Right.
Well, right. We've got one parcel where the existing structure is that's fronting on 21. One parcel commercial fronting on Magnolia. One parcel that's residential fronting on Magnolia.
As it stands right now, the commercial that faces Magnolia gets access to Magnolia.
Correct.
Period.
Correct.
We can't deny you access to Magnolia, because that land, that's your only access. The only way your property and any plan you have has any dream of having the 21 access is by combining.
It would have to be a combined plan, so to speak. I think you could probably keep it separate.
But the best bet to get a 21 in and out access is by combining all 3 lots. You can't combine a residential with 2 commercials.
Right.
That's just points.
Right.
Any more questions up here? Absolutely.
Thank you.
No, my question will be for you.
No, you have to come
Oh,
up.
okay.
I would just remind the public, you have the right to speak per Mr. Mayor, but do just introduce yourself by name and address.
My name is Nikki Frangelo, and I live at 211 Magnolia, which is adjacent to this property. I wasn't here last week. I actually had laryngitis, so I wouldn't have been able to speak if I even wanted to. My question for this whole project is, I've attended a lot of city meetings and even with county meetings, when someone wants to rezone something so drastic such as residential to commercial, they usually come in with some sort of a plan or give information about what they're going to do. I wasn't here again last week, but there was this discussion about, is my property commercial? I can attest to it is commercial, but it has a dual zoning. There are 6 people living there as it being residential. So technically, when you look at it, it's residential because people are living on it. So I just wanted to clear that
On your
up.
property?
On my property, which is adjacent. When you drive down the driveway, that whole right side, there's 4 children living there. Okay, so
But you can sell it as general.
I could sell it as residential too. I bought it as residential. If I chose to sell it to someone as residential again, I could do the same thing the other owner did for 50 years or so. That's changed hands, and you know, it could be that way with just like this piece of property next to me. That's residential. Someone could sell it as residential. So I
Said, pretty much use it to do it. Use it to sell as residential.
I bought it that way.
Too.
You could, what is the use does it change? She could sell it. It's a commercial zone property. It wouldn't be wise of her to sell it for residential, because she'd get more money from a commercial zone property than she would residentially zone property. And until it goes to commercial, once it's used as commercial, it can never go back to residential. Right. As long as it's being used as residential. Now, in the whole scheme of things, that doesn't make much sense. If you're gonna sell it, you're gonna sell it for the highest.
But someone did sell it to me who happened to be a developer who had purchased several homes in the neighborhood, and he sold it to me as commercial, or as a residential commercial, as a dual zone, knowing I was going to live in it, and did not charge me whatever fee he could have charged me to build out. So I just wanted to make that clear, since that was brought up in the last meeting. Okay, so another thing. Going back to, we, as citizens, there are 22 homes that face this property. I know the developer got up and talked about how, oh, this whole thing is a donut in the middle and it's only this one piece. No, there are 22 homes that are looking at this piece of property, okay? I just wanted to clarify that. In addition to that, the situation and the problem with most of the homeowners and the concern that they've brought up, their chief concern, is that the developer is not giving them an opportunity to make an informed decision about if they approve of this or not, because he's being very vague about what he plans to do. He just did it again, where he really isn't giving a lot of information. However, through the grapevine, we're hearing that there's going to be some sort of an event space there. Carlson's is helping him to arrange this event center. I don't have a problem with what he does, but what I do have a problem with is city spending and being efficient with city spending. And my thought was, if he can make that entrance come off Highway 21, I think he's going to have blessings from everyone versus coming on Magnolia Drive. If you want to serve alcohol and then drive through a neighborhood, drive down Weisenbaker, that's going to be a problem for everybody on Weisenbaker. Those homes are so close to the road, you could have someone getting intoxicated and driving through a home. You could also have a situation where, and I'm going to be real honest, I've been checking this whole area out. You've got Yates Astro, you've got that building in the center, you've got the salon. They are all intermingling a parking lot. They're sharing a parking lot. And I have sat at Dunkin' Donuts. I have watched Yates Astro trucks come out onto Highway 21, sometimes 2 at a time coming out. It is dangerous over there. Let me get to what I'm going to get to. I have a problem with them
I'm gonna
driving
interject
through
briefly,
my
just-
streets. Okay.
It's up to the public, to both sides, was to offer a fair, equal allotment of time, but with a 3-minute cap per speaker. I've been tracking it. We did not announce that to you, so I want to be
Okay.
fair to you and let you continue your points. We're at 3 minutes and 42 seconds. What I'll recommend is that Madam Clerk start the timer, and henceforth we apply that time limit unless otherwise directed. That's fine. That's fair.
So back to my concern. My concern is that area to me, I drive through there a couple of times a day. It feels dangerous in that you're having 2 cars speeding out onto Highway 21. We could also be solving a possible traffic danger by having a deceleration lane. This developer has come into council meetings several times now saying a deceleration lane is not possible. He consulted the DOT, whatever. I called the DOT because I'm trusting and verifying. They told me And I did a FOIA request that in the past 5 years, no one for that property has ever contacted them. They want deceleration lanes because they improve safety. And it's something that they really, really encourage and will try to make happen for anyone. And I spoke to two people who manage the DOT, and they have said no one has ever been in there. And it's actually, what was news to me is it's actually something that the city can mandate for safety purposes and say, we feel that this is a safer option for all of the developments coming down Highway 21. And for me, they would have my blessing if they would do something like that and just clean up that area. Yates Astor right now has a dumpster in the middle of a field and trucks that are just pulling right out through the field sometimes. And it's confusing. Being someone that lives there, I find it very confusing. And my other concern is we've got the soil sampling, air quality testing. I did some trusting and verifying with that as well. The environmental site assessment that was done, it's only good for 180 days to 365 days. It was turned in May of 2023. I did some investigating. We went door to door in the neighborhood, and then all of a sudden I started getting phone calls from people who said it was a dump site. There used to be a road that went behind the flower barn. And after hours, a Georgia DOT truck came with the contents of demolished homes and dumped them in the pond. And we have witnesses who are willing to go on record and provide a statement. They saw it, they were shocked. So my concern comes down to, could there be a possible asbestos when that gets stirred up? We've got 16 children, we've got very active neighbors. Miss Charlene walks to my house all the time. We are concerned about someone breathing that in. And I know that some of you have experience in working in construction, and I've spoken to the mayor about my concerns. I just want to be sure that there will be air quality testing and soil sampling, because the environmental site assessment, which was done, did not, let me just finish my sentence, did not include that pertinent information. And we need to have a new one done because it will require soil assessments. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything to say?
Oh. The question, planning. What was their decision? When their decision was to.
Wasn't
Can you come up,
Terry?
Terry?
The question is, we'll go ahead.
Yeah,
What position did planning take on it and why?
What was the
What was the
question?
reason, the decision that planning took on it? And what was the reason?
The Planning and Zoning Board recommended approval. It was 4-1. So we had one member that voted against it, but the remaining members felt that it met the criteria of the rezoning. The member that voted against it had environmental concerns.
There's no other questions or motions in order. Commissioner. Come on up.
I'm still Charlene Reynolds. I still live at 208 East Myrtle Street, which if I stand in my front yard, I can look right down the street at that lot. Okay. So I know exactly where it is. I know everybody who lives in our neighborhood. I didn't get statements from everybody, but everyone that I did talk to, everyone, a lot of people said, just tell them how you feel. My next door neighbor, Gilbert Calloway, said, just tell them how you feel, because that's how I feel, because we talk about it. Everybody in the neighborhood is very concerned about what's going to go there to start with. And one person did, Sheila Mears. She was born in 63 and lived in her mother and father's house at 205 East Myrtle until she married, and she moved back into the same house in 2003. She is opposed, as well as her son Christopher and her mother Faye, who live in the same house, to a commercial development that will bring more traffic to Brookhaven subdivision. They would not be opposed to the entrance and exit to this if it were on Highway 21, and if there were a fence to enclose it, also leave some trees on the lot. Sheila remembers a DOT dump truck emptying refuse, concrete, in the pond area to fill it in. See, that's another thing, we don't know what's in that pond. Again, as Ms. Colangelo said, we need another environmental study on that lot to see what is actually under all of that stuff that's there, because it could be something that is hazardous. And once you disturb that ground, it gets up in the air and we have to breathe it. I know we have a lot of people in our neighborhood. And again, I talk to everybody. And of course, I'm on the corner of Myrtle and Pineland. And there is a bus stop right there on my corner. Down on the other corner on Myrtle and Magnolia is a bus stop. And there's another bus stop up on Magnolia and Weisenbaker. So we have children catching, there are 2 buses that come 180 days out of the year on those streets there. And of course, I keep saying this, we don't have sidewalks. We don't have sidewalks. We don't have a playground. All of our children play where they can play. Where is that? In the street. Because a lot of them, they gather up together. A lot of them don't play in the yards, okay? They'll play out in the street because they have skates. They have all kinds of toys that they have to play with out in the street. One of my neighbors plays street hockey out there. So again, in the streets. So now you're talking about rezoning. I know that's really on the agenda. That's what we're supposed to talk about. So once you rezone that thing, as we said, you can't take it back.
Okay.
Does anybody else have anything? No, Mr. Mayor. Oh, go, yeah, come.
Good evening. My name is Jason Carangelo, 211 Magnolia Drive. So my property, I saw y'all before, is adjacent to this parcel in question. Like I said before, I'm against this rezoning. One of the things that I guess really bothers me the most is we don't know what this is going to be. And I understand maybe why, the reasons why they may not know or may not tell us why, but I think it puts the citizens at a disadvantage not knowing. We don't know how to come to you today to defend ourselves against something that we don't know what might happen. It's just not transparent. And I've seen a lot of rezonings in my time when I was in public service for 15 years. I was building official in several cities, including Effingham County. It's unusual to have this situation. I could see if it was a typical kind of rezoning, but from residential to commercial, it seems a little bit more serious, and it should involve a different process. Another thing is, by not knowing what it's going to be, if you just approve it tonight, then the commercial designation will be in effect. And I believe they can then go recombine the parcels without a public hearing like this going forward. I think it's just a permit or administrative action to make that happen. So we won't have that transparency to see that happen, should you approve that tonight. If it goes forward, if it is approved, and maybe they do this event venue that we spoke about, I have concerns about that as well, because if the parcels are combined and somehow it is allowed to have a road to Magnolia Drive, then they can enter from the Stone House and have connectivity to Magnolia Drive, and that could encourage people to cut through from Highway 21, who might be at the event venue, or those that might not be at the event venue, to cut through to Magnolia Drive to get to Weisenbaker. It's hard to turn from the East Astro and Stone House to go south on 21. So it might be easier for some people to cut through and take the other way. So I just want to encourage you. You don't have to do this. You don't have to approve anything. You have an obligation to the citizens to protect us, to serve us, to look out for our best interests. And I just think in this case, this is not something that would serve our best interests. And I'm not sure what the advantage is for the city of Rincon to have this go forward. if Magnolia Drive is an exit or entrance for the commercial development in the future, the city would likely have to pay a lot of money, I would think, or the developer. But I've heard possibly the city may grant funds to have the road upgraded to, commercial level asphalt, subgrade, sidewalks, lighting, all those things, millions of dollars to get that access point built, which I would not support, and the city shouldn't either. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wood?
Keith Woods with BKB Properties. So I'll just say that we have been working on this for almost 3 years. Keep in mind that the property that we're talking about is commercial on the left, the front, and they just spoke, there's 8 acres. Theirs is commercial. No matter what they want to call it, it's commercial. We know there's concrete there. We've heard all the stories with DNR, the environmental. Nobody's been on our property like that. If they would, we would have been notified. If they were trespassing. We want to clean the property up. We know what's there. But, and I know we want to do the right thing. We're trying to do something. I can't tell you what it is. We're still in the works. We want to do something nice. The residential piece, that's there now. The way that it is zoned, I could go get a building permit tomorrow morning and put 2 duplexes there. Tomorrow morning. With access to Magnolia. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to do something good. But I just want y'all to keep that in mind that no matter what is said there, it is still commercial. 8 acres, over 8 acres. Even though they live there, it's still commercial. But the environmental concerns, we're going to clean it up. It would be great for everybody. It would be good to get the concrete going and the old barrels. And there's a few tires. And there's some new stuff that's been dumped in there in the last couple of years that we know of. But all we're asking is to rezone, to go with what's in that whole sector. On the other side of Magnolia, there is some homes. But it's not directly facing what we're trying to do. It's side streets, and it dead ends to theirs that is commercial. I don't know what else we can really say or what we can do at this time. All I'm asking is that we can have the opportunity to do something nice. We're just asking for the rezone. Then we can come back, and we have to come back to you guys with the plan. But technically, if it goes through, they could come back right after us. They don't have to get their property rezoned. They could do the same thing we do at any time they wanted to. They don't have to get it rezoned. But that's all I got to say. If there's any questions or anything.
You guys have anything? Thank you, sir.
Can I ask a question about something? No?
I'm
asking about process.
Yeah, I'm just gonna refer back to Bobo on that.
It would not be proper in this session to field it if,
Do I have to send you?
no, ma'am. But I'm just letting you know that this venue is not for general Q&A.
But I'm going to ask about if you have this piece of property that's residential, and he goes and he gets it all rezoned, he could go put a gas station in. This piece of property to me is like a bargaining chip where the city can maintain that and hold on to it and say, until it's finished, we're holding on to this piece. Sure.
I would definitely stop.
Yeah, let's just
It's
stop.
not proper. We're extending the process.
Yeah, we've fighting this issue for quite a few years, and the biggest issue that has been coming up is environmental issues. I think that we need to, because of the policies and building stuff, we have things in place to protect the citizens and clean up areas. And also, once whatever is presented there, we also have other application that we can apply to that to protect the citizens and look at it. But right now, at this point, by not allowing nothing to happen there, we still have that environmental issue sitting there, and it's not getting any better. So you have to address something to go ahead and move forward. Mayor, in order our motion to approve it.
Can I say something?
No.
I would recommend that.
Can I close discussion?
He just made a motion to approve.
Procedurally, you have a motion pending. It would be appropriate to entertain a second.
I also agree with Mr. Scott on his discussion, and I second.
Motion by Mr. Scott, I got a second by Mr. Milner. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
This is the first reading.
That is the first of two readings.
Correct.
Yes. Yes, so we still have a second reading coming.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, we'll move into mayor and council comments. Start with Mr. Scott. Do you have anything? Mr. Milner?
I have other questions. Have you found anything about Rita and us appointing people?
Yes, ma'am. I recommend you do it all at one time. Once you have the entire slate, I would not do it piecemeal.
Okay. That's all I have.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, since I wasn't here the last council meeting, what was the update on the easements for the 7th Street grinder pump replacement? I thought we had one that was just about to sign it. Do you know, Ms. Lewis?
We're in discussion.
Yeah,
We're
we're-
doing something on that now. We have
Okay.
discussion this week about it.
Yeah, I think that's right on the verge of closing. I think we reached everybody we can reach, and we're just gonna move forward.
Okay, sound good? That's all right.
Actually, we'll be going to the attorney.
Going to the town, correct.
Did we get the sign ordered for Patriots Park for 21?
Not on the Oculus, BJ did it.
Okay.
He was talking to him about it.
Okay. DOT has to approve that?
Depends if it's,
Yeah.
if it's out of the right of way, I don't think DOT would.
Okay.
If you put it in the right of way, DOT would have.
Okay. All right.
Is that not, that's probably where we want to, wouldn't you think? Or you go off the right of way?
I think we have an easement up there,
Okay,
an existing easement
that we could do.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll check on that.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
Thank you.
9th Street sidewalks, but people that haven't given.
They have, we've got that easement signed, that's done, so Mr. Morgan with EMC's got it, he's already told the contractor, we're waiting on the contractor to do that, everything's done there except the concrete on the ground. The lights, I talked to Georgia Power today, the lights on 9th Street, he wants to come meet with me about actual locations, but he also, and I talked to him about McCumber Park lights also, that's where I called him. And, they're starting to upgrade with the LEDs, that contract's been done. He's gonna meet with us again next week on 9th Street, look at locations, and then he's getting his, work order in from McCumber Park parking lot lights.
They have 7th Street up there. And for the LED, looking at the whole city.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
They're gonna be city choirs, they're gonna, there, yeah. Yes. But it's gonna be the whole city. Not all at one time, but different. Yes, sir.
So we discussed that, and also I want to let you guys know that we are probably 2 or 3 days out. Mr. City Manager and I having priority list back to everybody after you turn that in. So we'll be getting that back to you guys, soon. And then I just want to remind everybody about the, April 3rd is our State of the City. We want to make sure that we have a good turnout there. Dulcie is working very hard on getting the questions out. So we're trying to make this a big event, an event of transparency, because that's what we're about here. And, you know, good or bad, we want to talk about it. So I got a lot of interviews to do. I talked to Chief Merle today about some of the things that he has going and what his department looks like. I'm gonna move into fire. I'll move into finance, and that's gonna be a big one for us to speak on. But we're gonna speak on all of it and get it all out. And that is all I have. Is there a need for executive session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All right. I got a motion by Ms. Taylor. I got a second by Mr. Scott. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, everybody, for attending.
You can see it, right?